So what I'm doing today is I'm gonna use our Ash series and our Ash booster to show you guys how I create a very smoky, smooth, ashy melt.
Sam?
What I'm gonna do, is this on?
Yeah, you got it.
What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna show you a really quick but dynamic looking 3-section technique to do on shorter hair types with Faction 8, but using just the boosters. So you're gonna create a demi fashion shade.
All right.
Very cool.
So this is really good. We have some more, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily, this is natural, but definitely on the more natural side. And then what we can do with the creative side using all the permanent tones.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get started here. So what I mixed for her root is 7-1, which is our 7 ash, with blue booster. And there's only about an inch of blue booster to about an ounce of color. So now this is my model Fallon here. She has quite a bit of extensions, but I'm just gonna pick this up so you guys can see what kind of grays and silvers that you can make using Faction 8. Cool? So just your basic color melt, I'm gonna hit her roots first. I'm gonna go back through and work her mid-shaft color in. Her hair here on the top's a bit shorter, so I didn't actually bring up or make any of the end color because the end color's only down here, yeah?
Perfect. What are you mixing up, Sam?
All right, so I'm gonna show you guys the sectioning first. So I'm using all the boosters. Sorry guys, I got like an allergy thing going on, so I apologize. This is 3 sections. It looks like a little bit more because she's got that undercut, but this whole section right here, we're gonna do one color, right? And we're gonna take it on a diagonal to the back. Now this section here is gonna come to the middle of her eyebrow and back, and that's gonna be a second color. Then we're gonna take a triangle section in the middle and make that our 3rd color. Now the colors that I'm using are going to be our boosters -11, which is blue, -33, which is our yellow, and then I have a combination of -33 and -66, which is gonna make an orange. So what's gonna happen is one side blue, one side yellow, middle orange. You can do this on all types of short hair lengths, and you're gonna get like a really bold, dynamic look. I love block coloring. I think it kind of gives like a very complicated look and dynamic where you're gonna get a lot of attention from it, but it takes like that, right?
And when you're mixing just the boosters like that, what volume are you mixing it with?
I'm mixing it with 6 volume.
And
you can use, I've done it with 10 before. I actually do 2 to 1, so, or 1 to 2. So you're gonna use 1 part color, 2 parts developer.
Which is unique with the permanents, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, because our normal processing time is 35 minutes. You mix it 1 to 1, and that's gonna be really how you're gonna use Faction 8 the most. I mean, up here, using these boosters, creating bolds and things like that is definitely kind of what Pulp Riot is known for, but I really want everyone to understand that Pulp Riot is, or Faction 8 is hair color for every client that comes into your salon. You got gray coverage, you've got beautiful reds, the ash tones are cool, which is probably my favorite thing about Faction 8. I used to work with a different color line that was definitely more of a warm-based color line. So my whole career, I was fighting warmth, trying to cancel out, you know, brassiness and balayages and stuff like that. And now I finally have color out of the tube that comes out more cool and lets you be more, you know, smooth with your color melts, right?
Yeah, I agree, Doug. Like for me with permanent color, I've always been like, oh my God, what if it's like glowy at the root? I have not had that problem once. You're gonna get a really solid, cool, nice, flat color, and then you can use your boosters or, you know, your other tones to add to it to kind of, you know, pump it up to whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, Sam, I know you and I were talking backstage, like the whole reason why we created Faction 8 was something that you really enjoy speaking about. So
this is like my passion. Like at first I was like, why do we need another like permanent color line? Like I was quite happy with mine, and the reason why I was quite happy with what I was using is because I was very comfortable with it. Who's really comfortable and loves their color line because they know exactly what to put on and what's gonna work.
Yeah, it's hard to
right?
switch, yeah.
It's almost like you become emotionally attached to it, right? So what I realized was that the color line that I was using was created 20 years ago. 20 years ago, there was no color melting. there was no shadow rooting, there was no ombre, right? And I was not able to do those with permanent color in my salon. And so what Pulp Riot did was they kind of tapped into that and saw that the modern hairdresser is being brought pictures from Instagram that are absolutely like insane sometimes. How many people have been brought a picture and you've looked at it and been like, this has to be edited. Like, how did they do this? Well, we found a way to do it. So the consistency of Faction 8 is going to allow you to do color melting with permanent color, which, I mean, like this emoji, you know what I'm talking about? And also, I wanted to show you guys, too, that I mixed this on stage, no whisk. Like, everybody throw out your whisks, take them home and use them for scrambled eggs or whatever the fuck you're into. I don't know. Like,
eggs is normal.
You just don't need them anymore. It's got such a smooth consistency that you just don't need it anymore. So, really, we're moving into a modern permanent color line, which is like mind-blowing to me. This is a whole new world of hairdressing, guys. It was the same for so long, and now in the past 3, 4, 5 years, it's totally changed. Who can agree to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, right? So we need the product to go with these techniques to make our clients happy.
So, like, just, yes.
No, I don't. I got real passionate for a second.
So,
I didn't
like,
go out last night, so I'm all fired up.
So, like, just working off what Sam said, yes, it is designed for modern hairdressers, modern techniques, all of that stuff, but you can still do all of the same things that you were doing with your old color line.
Right.
It's just going to come out better. You're going to be happier with the results. The consistency is going to be better. It's going to be easier to work with, right? So I've traveled around quite a bit now, and I just want to kind of hit on some gray coverage stuff just so that when you guys do try Faction 8, you won't run into any of the mistakes that other people have made. So now Faction 8 across the board will cover gray. But once you start getting into that coarser hair or thicker hair or more dense gray, you're going to want to start adding your double natural into your formula, right? So I sort of use a rule of thumb. It's a percentage rule. So if they're 25% gray, you're going to add 25% of your double natural to your target shade. Cool? Do you guys all
Easy
get that?
ratio.
That's pretty easy, right? So 50% of gray, 50% of the double natural to your target shade, and it will ensure gray coverage. So you guys won't have anybody looking in the mirror saying, oh, I see one or whatever. It's going to really give you the gray coverage you need. So for Judy that comes in every 4 weeks and needs her roots done with 5N, use your 5N, use your 5 double natural, and you're going to love the results.
And there's actually a new video and going to be like a new downloadable PDF on Faction 8 University, which you can get to at tv.pulpriothair.com, that has all the gray coverage tips. Because it is a new line and people are used to doing things the way they do it, a lot of times they'll mix a little off and then they won't get the gray coverage. So these kind of tips like that, how you use Faction 8 for gray coverage. And we have people saying it's the best gray coverage they've ever had, but they're definitely mixing it the way it's recommended. So that's a great place to get a lot of information like that. Even the chart, the ratio he's talking about, there's a little chart. So anything you need like that is available right on your phone. You can download it and save it.
Every client that I've switched over from my old color line to Faction 8 is completely happy, and I have not had one person say, oh, it didn't cover, or it didn't feel the same, or it wasn't the same tone. So, guys, we didn't recreate the color wheel. What we basically did was just changed the consistency and that type so that we can create these new looks.
All right, so let's look at the finished looks.
Cool, guys. So this is my model, Jackie. As you can see, I used our red series. This is 6-66. Went all through her hair. Also on her roots, she does have a little bit of gray. So we use 566 with 6-00 to make sure all that the gray was covered. But look how shiny and beautiful this red is. I mean, this is like your classic red hair. It's beautiful. It's shiny. It covered her gray. Looks awesome.
Awesome.
And guys, this is my model Coraline. So I wanted to show you this on a really, really, really short pixie. Like, she's not going to the grocery store and not getting stopped, right? This is like a MILF right here, okay? So, and so these are all done with the boosters. The purple was done with 1-1 and 2-2, so you can create all different shades that we don't have in our semi-permanent line. And a lot of people ask me about the fading too. This is going to fade beautifully.